Next up, we're going to look at our country garden themed buttonhole or corsage. And what I've got is I have bought some flowers, and for the rest I actually picked some flowers out of the garden. So I've got a beautiful purple pink lithianthus. I absolutely adore these flowers. And I have the buds of the lithianthus as well, and we're going to add that to our buttonhole. Then we have, and this you can find at your flower stores, and this is your silver dollar eucalyptus. The flowers I picked from the garden. I've got some herbs, so I've got my rosemary, and that's going to give it also a very nice flavor or smell when you're going to wear it. I've got some lavender, and then I've got some very thin garden reeds that I'm going to add as well. And you can see it's all very rough, natural looking plants and flowers. And there's not a lot of flower. You get that very country feel, like you walked in the country or you walked in a park and you just picked some lavender, you picked some flowers, and that's the effect we want to create at the end of the day. So again, we're going to start with our flower, and we just want to see which leaves are going to work very nicely. So I think this one could work nicely. Okay, and again, it's all about moving it. If you don't like a little part, cut it away, strip it away. We want to make it look nice at the end of the day. So we're going to remove these little leaves at the bottom, and you make and shape it into what you want it at the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to do that a little bit to the side. I think next up, we're going to add our little buds. And the nice thing about these buds is it gives it that feathery loose effect. We want to also add some lavender to this. Just put that to the side. Cut some lavender, and that just brings another bit of color in here, as we only have the pink so far. Let me just get a nice looking piece over here. And of course it's going to smell very nice, and that go approximately there. And then some rosemary, which, except that it smells absolutely divine, just adds texture. Okay, I think one should be enough, and then we can finish off with a few reeds, I think, and that also adds to the texture. Okay, we basically work everything in our hands, and we twist and we place it until it works for us. I'm not happy with where our lavender is. Okay, and maybe some lavender over there. And as you can see, it's a very rough looking buttonhole. It's not as neat and tight and in place as our traditional one, but that's the idea. We want that loose effect. We want that freshly picked out of the garden effect. Okay, so again, once I am happy with my placing of everything, I want to use my floral tape And just be very careful with the lithianthus. The flower heads come loose very easily. You can break off very quickly while you're working with it. Remember to remove all the loose little leaves at the bottom, otherwise you're going to make the gathered part a little bit too thick and it's not going to be as neat as it is at the moment. Okay. And then for this one, I got a pink ribbon with a little bit of a stitched effect. And with this one, I'm not going to make a bow. I'm just going to make a tight little knot. I'm going to just fold this part down so when we start wrapping, it's going to wrap over our little part that's sticking out there. Okay, and once you've reached your desired length, you can just take it up again. And then because this one, I decided not to make a bow, I'm going to just cut my ribbon. And use the same type of pin that we've used in the other one. And the idea is I just want to pin this in. And now you sit without the bow, just with a tiny little pin over there, which makes it look very nice at the end. It's finished off without having a big bow. So that's your other option if you don't want the bow effect. And then remember to cut this all nice and straight. And there we have our country feel for buttonhole. So again, this one will make a beautiful corsage, but even your buttonhole. Okay, so that's our second one done. Now we go to our last one.